Hey, good morning, folks. AJ here. Day 2 here at Mount Bethel. All the stuff that I talked about yesterday came in this morning, including the extra CASA plugs. So, what we're going to do is first get the sound straight. Make sure we get sound going through all the speakers. Identify all of them. And then start working. Now, I was so tired when I got home. I never returned these. So I still got to do that. I did order the replacements. I could have picked them up today, but again, the store doesn't open till 10. And since I got to go by the store anyway and pick up the 85 tomorrow, I thought it was Tuesday, it's Wednesday. I'm just going to pick all of them up at the same time. It makes it easier. So, like I said, we got a whole bunch of stuff here. I got some cable wrap. I've used these before. I thought it was a wider one. I thought a half an inch, an inch was the right size, but it wasn't. We'll still be able to use it, but we shall see. These are some blank panels that I really don't need to put up here, but I'm taking this down because I have a new sound system for my mobile streaming system that I'm going to use. So my 3U blank panel, I need to remove anyway because my new XR16 is going to go in my rack that takes up that same space. So it's left over. We'll put it up here to try and cover up this. And then we got another 2 panel we'll put right there, or maybe above. I don't know. I just don't like having the panel sit around. So, we're going to use it somewhere. And this is the HDMI cable that I forgot. This is I'm going to reverse this. This is going to connect the computer to the TV. And then the DVI to HDMI is what I'm going to have going into the ATEM. Like I said, those are the CASA plugs right there. And the other thing I noticed, I'm probably gonna bring. I have some leftovers. I'm gonna put some LED bulbs in here, some daylight ones, because I had to do a whole lot of color correcting in my video that I posted before I got on the road here. Just the coloring was way off. Also, there's the 200-foot cable that I'm gonna do. So like I said, we're gonna knock out the easy stuff first. I do have my ladder, so I already brought that in there for today. Main thing is I want to hang the cameras, get the sound straight, set up the CASA stuff, see if I can get in the ceiling and run the cables. And then, because if I can get it over here, then there's already a path, because obviously everything is already going here. Run the new cable in the ceiling so we can get back there. Run 2 Ethernet cables here, one for the access point, one for the camera. Fiber optic HDMI cable for the PTZ that's going to be here. Then another 2 right there. HDMI and Ethernet, HDMI and Ethernet. The second Ethernet, I'll actually stop here and we'll put the access point right there in the center, so that would give good coverage inside of here. And then once I do that, run another fiber optic HDMI for the TV, the 85 that's going to be here. I leave that here. I may attempt to take that picture down. It all depends on how heavy it feels. But that's what we got going today. So let me set up the small stuff. And I forgot, not that I forgot, I left my neck thing for my holder for this camera in the car. It was under my sweater, so I thought I left it at home, but I'll take you on this journey with the stuff that we're going to do today. So let's get the sound working first, because again, I got all the other adapters like I was telling you about. The Y cable, our female couplers, and then some extra adapters here for those 1/4 inches that need to go to XLR so we can connect them. And then we got some extra grommets that we've used before. This will be for the ceiling, to make the holes and put a grommet in there. let's hold this with one hand so that we can make a hole in the ceiling, make it all nice and pretty for where it needs to go. Should only need to use 2 of those, but anyway, let's put the neck brace on and then take you along on a journey on what we're doing today. All right, so like I said, we got these caster plugs here. We will configure all of these when we get an account. I don't know what they have set up, so I'm probably going to make a Google account for them. Again, their internet currently is not really fast enough to support live streaming, but we can still set up everything. So this is going to sit in between here. We keep these switches on, but once we get everything set up, this is how we're going to be able to remotely turn this on. Also, for the jacks, see, they did the same thing here. There's a gender swapper on here. But I thought I had some extra jacks to change these. I don't. All of the ones that I have are the exact same thing. They're female. I need male so I can actually flip it around. We'll see about that. But that's one speaker. And once we get, I'll probably set up another account in the new Google account name that I do, so that way I can set up everything, and then I won't put it up under my account. We can just make one for them, save that account on the computer, and then that will be much easier to hand over to them instead of having to recalibrate everything all over again, because I did it under my account. And that sound, that's what it was. The frequency that it was coming in, it sounded like snowfall theme in Interstellar. Is that on? Alright, so that's on. And we need to do the same thing over here. Alright, that's on. I really do like these. It makes it easier from having to wire everything. And I do have the stuff to possibly run that outlet and put it professionally in the wall. I may actually do that. Alright, so before I start jumping to everything else, let's get this audio straight. That's the bathroom. Alright, and we're going to reposition this ultimately in its final position. But like I said, we want to make sure everything is working first. And I need to do a new surge protector because that cable is looking kind of bad. Alright, we got everything on. So the first thing we need to do is we need to run our left and right out, which is configured for 7 and 8 from the snake, or the outputs from the board. 7 and 8 are our main outs. So we need to configure that. Get some scissors for that. And I completely opened the wrong thing. We're going to need those anyway. So what I was saying is we will split the signal. Join the split signal So right now we already are coming out, but this is only the left channel. And we're going to get rid of that junky cable that's causing all this issue here. So now we're going to bring in left and right. Let's get rid of this mess that's causing the sound issue. And then our coupler here. And that quick, I put the cable down and didn't realize which one I was using. So we got that. I think this is for the choir. And we'll join that to whichever feed is left. I believe it's this one. Because we want to put the floor speakers there, and we still need to identify what are the cables going to the white speakers that are inside the sanctuary. I still never got anything from either one of those. But let's hook up the rest of these mics, which are the wireless ones. We'll hook those up, and I'll probably, after I get all of this identified, I'm probably going to move all the wireless speakers and move them up here, then put this in its final place, which is going to be down here, and then get the board up out of here, clear that thing up, and then we go from there. Alrighty, for the most part we got everything isolated. I ended up finding 4 more speaker cables that were just hanging inside the box, not connected. So maybe those are the ones that are actually going to go for the speakers. We got everything set up, left and right split. So those are for the floor powered speakers. Number 3 is what I have hooked up to one of the 4 that I don't know what it is. So I'm going to set up a mix, send something only to output number 3, and then try and isolate what's going on. And then we have 2 1/4 inches and then another speaker cable there, and we got to identify those. So, you know, we cleaned up a whole lot of stuff. They just had cables all over the place. The only other cable I'm going to have to move, and they already have a conduit here, is to run the shielded cable, which is going to power this. I still need to connect all of these. 2 of these are on XLR. Those 2 are on XLR. Those are our 1/4 inch cables, so I already have the cables for that. We'll hook that up. And I saw another power strip, so I'm actually going to put another power strip without the damaged cable. I'll put that here, and I will plug everything here, and somebody's here. So let me see what's going on. All right, I was just talking to my point of contact of some examples of some stuff that's going on here. So again, we may be talking about putting Starlink down here because it's fast enough for them to do Zoom. It's not fast enough to live stream. I told them that most likely I might not be able to do the cameras outside. It all depends on how much we get done today. They are going to bring their people to take this down and relocate that in the fellowship hall so that I can concentrate on this tomorrow. Let them know about the sound. And they were telling me these speakers, they got them, but they were actually never using them. So I was suggesting to them, I'm going to find out what those are, and then we're going to I suggested that they use them, and then they had some concern about if they mounted them, what they would look like. And I said, most people, they'll notice it the first day. 2 weeks, after 3 weeks, they'll completely forget that it's there. The only issue with that is getting power, so power would need to be put up there. But that shouldn't be an issue since you got lights. Somebody can tap off on that and put an outlet there. But the main thing is we're going to identify the speakers. I did identify the choir ones. That's what was playing back here. And then put them on a separate mix. Put these back to the house, but then find out what these speakers are. So I'll probably put those and these on the house and just do a side-by-side comparison on what it sounds like. These are going to blow those out all day long, because they said they got them because other musicians will come in and blow those all the time, just playing stuff entirely too loud. So let's go ahead and get that set up. After we get the sound identified, I'm going to start taking the camera down, move the clock up, and start mounting the cameras, and then climb up in the ceiling and then run the cables and see how we can get into that room. And then we go from there. Alrighty, folks, so we got everything hooked up. I think the issue is I think I found the cables for the ones up here. The only problem is they don't have another amp that's going to be able to provide power. So it looks like what they did is they disconnected those and hooked them up for here. Now, there's two ways to approach this. I could disconnect the ceiling speakers and hook these back up, but I really feel that these are gonna blow those out. But because they only have one amp, and the amp is split between all the ceiling speakers and those. Now the thing is, like I said, I could hook that up, because that's what these two cables are. But honestly, the way the cables are done, these can't be hooked up anyway into the amp. I would actually need to disassemble the cable and hook these up into the amp. So, or get another amp. I mean, because those are powered speakers, so it looks like the old mixer was also a powered one, and that's what allowed, if those were hooked up, that's what allowed those to be hooked up as well too. But right now, I'm gonna leave it like this. And again, that's simple to change. If we need to get another amp, I will. The main thing is they want to be able to make sure they can still Zoom on Sunday, which they will be able to do. What I'm gonna do now is focus my attention on taking down the old camera, installing the first PTZ, maybe put some stuff in place for the other one, get an idea of where everything else is going to go, and then start looking at running cables in the ceiling. For that PTZ here, the one on the side here, yeah, I am going to put it here in between these lights so that they can get the musicians from this angle, and then maybe put the other one there if there's a baptism. I thought there was a baptism right there. Maybe I'm mixing up my churches. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's nothing here. There's no trapdoor, nothing like that. So we might actually put the other camera here, or maybe right here, so it can actually look in on the congregation. Because I want to get as far away from this as possible, but they already got this conduit here, so I might leverage that. So I might put the camera right here, pretty high up, almost all the way up there. So I'll probably get rid of that conduit so it can look down and see everything. So I think that might be the plan. One in the back, one on the side right there, and maybe just to offset it, I might actually even put it on that side. I think I might do that. But let's get this first one up, configured, and all that other fun stuff. Alrighty, so we got one of the cameras set up. I ran the cables on the floor. Also ran the cable into the fellowship hall, so we're getting the image that is connected to the ATEM. Now granted, this is the cable that's going to be for the snake, but that's the one I ran. So right now I'm getting ready to loop back a couple of cables. I already have the access point. That's where I'm going to put it, and then all those cables up there are all the cables that are going back to the mics and all that other stuff up there. But again, not that big of a concern. We're going to run fiber optic HDMI cable down this path, 2 Ethernet cables, well, one shielded, one Ethernet that's going to be from here. Going to run another Ethernet cable for the access point. So I'm going to run that all the way to this back wall and just see how much we can get. And I'm going to run the length longer than I need so that I can pull everything up. And instead of redoing this cable, I'm just going to repurpose this cable. This cable is going to be pulled back, and that's going to be for the one in the ceiling. I mean, for the front PTZ. So I'll pull a fresh cable all the way back when I do everything. And I need to see how that lip is going to be right there when we run everything. So that's what we moved to. And we had a costume error. I think these are my last time I'm going to be able to wear these these work jeans. So I went a little bit too low and some stuff ripped. So I need to, on the way back, I need to get me some new work jeans. Then so that way we won't have an embarrassing moment here. Anyway, let's get these cables ran. Alrighty, so I got my cables here. I had to cut through. Looks like this was a new part of the church that was built onto it. So drilled through and saw the outside, kind of like, not shingles, but slats or whatever it's called. Drilled through that. So I got my cables here, and it looks like there's attic access here. So since I can't get from here, I pushed the cables up, and I'm getting ready to move the ladder into this classroom that has a crawl space, not crawl space, but attic access. Hopefully I can find the cables, pull a little bit more. So I ran all the cables here. I also have the cables for the PTZ that's going to go over here, and pretty much got everything that I need minus the cables here, which if I find this path, this should be easy. So let's get ready to go up in the attic. It's cold. Oh, that's it. Looks like that's a tight fit. Oh, dag nabbit. It does not reach, but maybe we'll be close. So let's see. Oh, yay. They got lights. If I can turn my headlight off. Oh, this is gonna be so I'm in the classroom. That's gonna be over there, so we probably are gonna have a little bit of a problem, because this isn't even the same type of insulation. Dagnabbit. So there's a hole there. This is, something told me to bring my drone and get up on the roof to see what the layout is. That's tight. I'm not in that straight drywall. Gotta figure out, because it's going up somewhere, but how is that getting over there? And then also gotta figure out how this connects over to the other part. So there, hold on. There are cables. See, there's a hole right there. And there's speaker wire right here. And that's right there. That's brick. So that's the outside. That's gonna be a pain. I'm gonna have to open up a hole in the ceiling in here, or maybe run the cables down the wall and then run them in this closet in this classroom. Because there's no, I am shooting blind if I was going to drill a hole in there. And last thing we want to do is open up a hole and we got a hole in the roof. And we definitely ain't trying to do that. So, figuring out the other side of this. Gotta figure out. I mean, that's going up, but where is that going to? Because they obviously ran cables here. It looks like this was the back wall of the old building, of the old church, and they went from there. So let's try and figure this out. All right, folks, we made some good progress. Got the cables ran, got everything pulled all the way back. That's a whole bunch of slack that I'm gonna put up in the ceiling. We also found out that conduit was actually hiding the cable. That's actually the ceiling that I showed you where that cable was ran through. So based off of what they said, I'm gonna pull all those cables over here, and inside of here, I don't know if you can see, right there is through wood, but then I'm hitting brick. So I didn't bring my hammer drill, but one of the deacons here is actually bringing one here in about 20 minutes. I was able to pull the shielded Ethernet cable over the ceiling down, and it is in its final position. I just need to cut a hole into either that little slat right there, so I can slide the cable down and put it inside this conduit, and it's already connected to the snake, and then I can put that towel back in place. I am getting ready to terminate the cable here. I have the fiber optic HDMI cable there, and then also I have the cable ran through. I'm about ready to add the access point. So I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna temporarily hook this up to the switch, and then label everything, make sure we got a video feed, all that good stuff. Wait for them to get back, and maybe hang the other camera on the other side right here, because I already got the cables. Pull that through. Got to get 2 pieces of conduit for that. Or I might be able to hide the cables inside the wall. We'll see. Now, I had a little bit of bad news that came back. My daughter's school called, and they've already shut down school for tomorrow. And they are projecting 3 to 6 inches of snow tomorrow. So I'm trying to do as much as I possibly can so that all the cabling, at least the back camera, side camera, sound system, everything is in place, so that I'm gonna have to adjust. If that snow is that situation, I'm gonna have to cancel the U-Haul, pick up the TVs later, and then if the snow is cleared out, come back here Thursday. But I need to make sure that the sound and everything works. So if they have something Sunday, might have to come back next week to finish up everything. But I'm in a good place. At least the sound system is here. Worst case scenario, they'd have to live with the cables here. But the fact that they got the hammer drill that's coming, I should be able to fish that stuff in here and at least get the cables up off the floor. So back camera, side camera, sound system will be done. And then the only thing we have to worry about is the front camera, which shouldn't be that big of an issue now that we make the hole big enough. We're gonna put a plate there, and the TV is gonna hide that position anyway. I was gonna put the mount up, but I need to get a perspective on where the TV sits. So I'll put the mount up. If it's not bad, we'll do it tomorrow. If not, it'll be Thursday or some other later time. So let me terminate this, get this access point up, put all the cables in the ceiling, get the tiles up and out of the way, and we'll work on our next project in here. All right, they were able to find me a hammer drill. They got me the big boy. So we should be able to plow through here super duper fast. I think I got my masonry bit so that I can make a clean hole through there. But let's get this up here. I'll probably use one of the smaller bits to make sure I'm in the right place. Make sure I'm through the ceiling. Then after that, we'll widen the hole up, run all the cables through, and then rinse and repeat, find how the ceiling is in the media room. Do that again, get all these cables out of the way. Then we're done. I already ran the cables over here. All I got to do is hang the PTZ right there. I'm gonna measure off to make sure I'm at the same height. We got one more PTZ to hang, run all the cables, then the wiring inside of here, outside of the TV. We're done. All right, folks, I have not been recording very much because I have been up in the ceiling, super tired, but let me show you. We've made some very good success. Cables ran, terminated, cables ran, terminated. We got through the wall. They brought me a hammer drill, so I was able to get through there. We got a little bit of slack that I need to pull back up in the ceiling or go there. But I wish I had the camera, but I was just running back and forth. So I got all the cables here. There's a ceiling here, a roof here I was able to drill through, and it covers up, and I was able to get into here. We got our cables ran. We got everything connected. So there's our 2 cameras, and we have our S16 is connected. So yay. We're gonna have to run 3 more cables, 2 fiber optic HDMI cables, one for the 85-inch, other one for the front PTZ, another Ethernet for that. That's gonna run back here, and then everything else should be able to go from right here. If not, it's not that big of a deal. Running the cable into The fellowship hall, that is a straight shot walking all the way over there. I got to climb over the HVAC system, but that's a straight shot for here. That is straightforward. That's literally right over here. So the hole that I made is right here in the roof. So I just got to run one more cable. Well, 2 cables this way. Excuse me. 4 cables. 2 HDMI that's going to go in this direction, Ethernet that direction. One more HDMI that'll come here, then go over, and that's the one that will feed here. And I miscounted one more time, but as you can see, we got the cable here. That's the one that's on the floor. I will pull that back up. The other one, so it's a total of 1, 2, 3, 4 HDMI cables, 1 Ethernet. The 4th one will come here, then cut right, and then it'll drop here into the pastor's office, and that will go there. Then the AV system is done. Then we need to just pull 4 more 5 Ethernet cables. The other one for the other access point that's going to be down the hallway, I'll do that at the same time I pull the cable for the fellowship hall TV. And like I said, it all depends on how the weather goes, since they're talking about it's supposed to be exceptionally bad. If it's decent, and the fact that I'm going to be using a trailer tomorrow, I've only driven with a trailer once, so I am not trying to do that in the snow. The other thing is, I was thinking about running a cable here, but there is a firewall right here. So I might see if I can tap off something else. If not, we're just gonna have to do it the same way we normally do, and it will be in the box that we got. Excuse me. That plugs into an outlet, and then we should be done. I gotta mount that surge against the wall. I brought this. This is what I had for the organ at Antioch, and that didn't work. So I think I have another wider arm for this, but we're gonna this is gonna be the talkback that I leave here. I had bought 2 of these mics, and I just left the extra one here. I had an extra one left over, so I'll just give that to them. For that'll be the talkback. They need to get some headphones for here. I'm just trying to think through everything else. I'm so glad I am technically done in here. Like I said, we just got to run 3 more cables into the sanctuary. 1 in this direction, 1 in that direction, and then Ethernet cable down there in the fellowship hall. TV cable that's on the floor, pull that up, pull that down there. And then technically we're done on the inside, like I said. And then we position the cameras outside for where they need to go. And then outside of training, we are done. I think, and I had left this out. I had a protein shake and I completely didn't even drink it. What I'm gonna do, actually I can do this remotely. I need to set up a Google account. And I think Miss Wanda was telling me that somebody hacked their Facebook account. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make this account before I leave. Then I'm gonna get up out of here because I'm tired, and we will be done for the day. I'll have some closing thoughts here after I set this up. All right, I was gonna make the account. I'm tired. I can make it remotely. But as I said, we are coming together quite nicely. Almost all the cables are ran. Just those, a total of 5 Ethernet cables are the only thing that are left. Oh, man. Just tired. We've been rolling since 8:30, And I know a lot of people say, it's like, AJ, do you take a break? Yep, I take a break when I'm done and I'm driving home. So that's what we're about ready to do. Get on the road, shut everything down. And then if it's not bad weather, we'll be back tomorrow. If not, we'll be back Thursday. So I hope y'all enjoy this. Again, my apologies for not recording as much, because it was just going back and forth in the ceiling. I didn't think that was going to be too interesting, and I was just trying to get all this stuff done. And thankfully, because again, I didn't know how the weather was, I needed to make sure these cables were up and off the floor. So I'm glad we got that done. Like I said, we got to mount this front camera, then all the cameras are done. Can't leave my phones here or nothing like that, because can't unlock the car without the phone. So anyway, folks, thanks for watching. If you like this type of stuff, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell. That way you get notified when we come up with other videos to help modernize your media ministry, and that way you don't miss out on us wrapping up install number 6 of the 50 challenge that we are attempting to do for 2025. Anyway, folks, we'll catch you in the next video. Later.